Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first live broadcast in over a year. I can't believe it's been that long. Um, there's just so much that goes into doing this, but we're excited about it because it gives us an opportunity to communicate with you directly. And so if you are, we're using a new platform, never used this before, uh, except for the test that we did a few days ago. So if you could comment if the picture is good, if the audio is good, if you heard the song from the little Lost Sci-Fi baby, if you heard the vocals, if everything looks good, that would be fantastic. Now, I realize that there's a delay of some 10 to 20 seconds between the time I say something and you actually see it on either Facebook or YouTube. And so if you could comment and let us know that everything looks good and sounds good, that would be great. And tell us where you are from, if you don't mind. You don't have to tell us your name unless you want to. And then tell us where you're watching us tonight, either on Facebook or on YouTube. That would be fantastic. And so we already got one thumbs up. Thank you for that. I'm not sure who did that. Like I say, new platform. And so we are entering into a brand new experience, not only for you, if you've never joined us live before, but it's a brand new experience for us because we've never used this platform other than to check it out briefly. And so there's a lot of new stuff going on here. So anyway, if you don't mind telling us who you are and where you're from, that's always kind of cool to see where all of these people are coming from that listen to us and that watch us when we go live. It's just kind of a nice thing. I'm not getting any comments yet, so I don't know if nobody's commented or I didn't do something correct. Both are entirely possible. Anyway, there's so much to cover tonight. Hey, there we go. Thank you, Like a Hobbit, joining us via YouTube. Looks and sounds good. Maryland, USA, welcome. And Josh Jennings from Texas, welcome. Okay, so at least I do know where the comments are, and I can see them now. So that's a good thing. Like I say, you're using something brand new, and you don't know the first time you use it if it's all working out great or not. But I hope everything is wonderful and that the audio is good, the lighting is good, sound is good, everything is wonderful. By the way, we are going to make a commitment to go live twice a month, every month in 2026, maybe more than twice a month. Not sure yet, but possibly. It just depends on a lot of factors. I understand Facebook only keeps these videos live and then stores them for like 30 days and then they get rid of them. Hopefully on YouTube that will continue and they will be available. And we are also going to check out putting it on lostsci-fi.com so that if it disappears from the other platforms, there would always be a way for you to watch a live or a past live on our lostsci-fi.com website. So that's pretty cool. Next week, we are going to go live 1 week from tonight. Now, the time is different because it's 8 o'clock in London, but I believe that's around 1 o'clock where I am in Costa Rica. But for our listeners in Europe, and that is an ever-growing group of people, for our listeners in Europe, we wanted to do something that works for you so that you didn't have to, like right now, I don't even know what time it is, but I think it's around 2 or 3 in the morning for most of our European listeners. And that's just kind of crazy. So although we have had people in the past with us from Europe at 2 or 3 in the morning, their time, it's certainly not something we expect people to do. So we'll see how well we do. And going live for the first time, I did not expect. Let me just share this with you. Whatever our numbers are is what they are for those of you that join us live. And we're fine with it because it took time last time for that audience to grow once people got accustomed to what we're doing and all of that stuff. So whatever the numbers are, we're just grateful for those of you that are here right now. We are thankful for those of you that are here right now because, it's just something new. And every now and then I'll get somebody that says, Scott, I love your podcast, but I just don't care for the live. It's okay. It's totally okay. This is not for everybody. You get to pick and choose what you want to take in. And if you want to listen to the podcast faithfully, but you don't ever want to watch us live or even watch the replay, we're okay with that. That does not bother us in the least. I do hope that you will sign up for our newsletter. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Lost Sci-Fi fans all over the world have signed up for it. It's fascinating to me that we get all of these people that join us all over the world for the newsletter and all over the world to listen to the podcast. It really is, to me anyway, quite fascinating. And so we hope you'll sign up for the newsletter. And you can do that. It's really simple. LostSciFi.com/free. It is our free weekly newsletter. And we talked about a newsletter about a year ago, but we didn't ever do it. We made a commitment to do it every week. And I think we're on episode. I think we're on 11 or 12 consecutive weeks that we have released a newsletter. So we hope you'll sign up for that. It's fun and we enjoy doing it and sharing with you even more about sci-fi and what's going on. A lot of you already know this. We are the number one science fiction podcast in 33 countries. And it's hard for us to believe because we started with no expectations. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if one single person would listen or if a lot of people would listen. But, I don't know what I did there. But we are very, very thankful to be number one in 33 countries.
Number one in 33 countries. You made it happen, every single fan. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Lost Sci-Fi fans. This one's yours.
You did it, and we are thankful for you. Thank you for signing up for the newsletter. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for your ratings and reviews. Thank you for everything you do for us. It's really truly amazing to me, the success that we have had. And I really mean that because it's like, again, you don't know that anybody will care. But to give you an example, we have had 2 million listens so far on Apple Podcasts alone. We're up to 3.2 to 3.3 million listens total over the course of less than 4 years. And that's a pretty astonishing mark to me again, because a lot of people work really, really hard on their podcasts and don't achieve that level of success. And what really this means to me is it's you. It's you that have done this, because we could produce 1,000 podcasts a year and you have to listen. And what is so remarkable is you tell so many other people, you share it with other people, you share our social media posts. So we say thank you for all of that. Now, one of the things that when we go live this time for 2026, we want it not to be so one-sided. Us doing our thing, sharing with you. By the way, as you join us, if you want to tell us who you are and where you are from in the comments, that would be awesome. Don't have to do it, but it's just kind of a neat thing to see where people are from. And this is our first live stream in, I think, a year and 2 or 3 months. And it's going to happen twice a month, every month, provided the health and everything holds out and all that stuff. So hopefully people will get used to it and they will enjoy it more and more and more. But we want this to be more than just us talking to you. We want you to participate, and you can participate through the comments. But we have another idea. We want you to participate through video, and we would love if you would help us in this endeavor. Now, you may say, well, I don't want to go on camera, and I understand that, but we hope that you will anyway. Because and we're going to show you in a second what we mean by this, but what we want is to hear from you, to include you when we go live. We want to include you to the point where we get to hear from you on the podcast. And this is exactly what I mean.
Hello, Scott. I just wanted to say I have been a huge fan of the Lost Sci-Fi Podcast for over 3 years now. I look forward to every single episode that comes out, and it's a pure delight to get to sit there and listen to you read stories. So keep on trucking, man. I hope you put out another 10,000 stories. So I'll look forward to them.
Okay, now 10,000 might be a bit much since we've only now just done 460 some episodes and 500 stories. 10,000, you'd have to be listening to me like when I'm 95 or something if that continues. But anyway, you see what I mean by that. It's not professional. We're not expecting you to be a professional, but we want to hear from you. We want you to record your video, preferably horizontal, like you see on your screen right now. But if you need to record it vertical, then we'll take that. We'll accept it. We'll be thankful for it. But preferably horizontal video, then email it to me, scott@lostscifi.com. And for those of you, if for some reason you don't want to do that or can't do that or whatever, we do have a WhatsApp number, and we'll release that. If you really need it, just send me an email, scott@lostscifi.com, and we'll give that to you. Now, what can those videos include? They can include just about anything. I mean, literally just about anything. It could be a question that you have. It could be a request that you have, a comment, a review. It can be anything. What we really want to do, it would be great, and I don't expect this is going to happen immediately. It'd be really cool if at least one or two more of you would send us a video between now and the time we go live next Thursday at 8 p.m. in London on January 15th. That would be really cool. But if not, no problem. But I really would like to have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of those videos every single time. You could be wearing merchandise that you bought, Lost Sci-Fi Podcast merchandise. It could be just anything you want it to be. Doesn't guarantee that we're going to use it, but probably. And we really would appreciate participation in that. And one of the reasons that I want to do that so much is because I think it'd be really cool for people to see all the different people around the world that listen to the Lost Sci-Fi Podcast. We are in over 190 countries. It's literally almost every country in the world, but just a handful, which is, again, shocking and surprising to me. But that's where we have listeners. And so it would just be really cool if you would do that. We would really appreciate it. We think it'd be fun. We think it'd be a lot of fun. What would you like to see more of in 2026? Please go to the comments and let us know what you want to see more of. And heck, if there's something you want to see less of, tell us about that too. But one of the things that we take pride in is in listening to our listeners. And so there are a number of authors, stories that authors that we never would have met if it hadn't been for you, stories that we never would have told if it hadn't been for you. So we think that's pretty cool that and maybe we're the only ones that think it's cool, but I think it's pretty cool that you have input into what we do. And we really do listen. So in the comments, if you have something you want to say right now, what do you want to see more of in 2026? Go ahead and type that in. If you want to save that for your video, that's cool too. But we really want to do everything we can to be as responsive as possible to those of you that make us number one in all these 33 countries. Little water is a good thing. I have water in the booth. Use it nonstop all the time for long recording sessions. So if there's something you want to see more of in 2026, you could send us a video. You could send us an email, scott@lostsci-fi.com. Or if you choose and you want to, you could let us know that right now. Now, let me see if I can do this correctly. All right, let's see if this works. I don't see it working. I'm trying to share my screen. Anybody seeing my screen? I don't think so. I don't think my screen is... Well, okay. I'm going to have to work on that one. I wanted to show you LostSci-Fi.com because we've got a lot of cool things that we have done on it in reworking it recently, but I'll have to figure that one out better next time, I guess. Well, wait a second. Maybe it's just because I didn't do this right. Let's try this one more time. Okay, are you seeing LostSci-Fi.com now? I think that's exactly what you're seeing. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you are seeing the screen now. So this is the new LostSci-Fi.com. I'm going to hope that indeed that's what you're seeing right now. You can see here's a link for the newsletter. Oh, I'm trying to click on, no, that's not going to work. Okay, let's do this. Newsletter. If you just click right there, you will see where you can sign up for the newsletter. If you just click on newsletter. And then I haven't added, doesn't look like I've added many in the last month or so. But you can look at previous newsletters on LostSci-Fi.com. So that's there. And then let's go back home again. I just wanted to share a few things with you because I think this is a pretty phenomenal resource now. If you click on the Lost Sci-Fi Podcast, it tells you I need to probably update that to over 3.2 million downloads. It kind of tells you the story of how this thing began if you haven't already heard it and you want to. All episodes of the podcast are available right there in the player. Okay? So you can see, and it will keep scrolling through all 460 some odd episodes. You can go all the way, and you see them, and then if you click on them, it'll go up here to where it is available for you to listen to right then and there. See if you get any of the audio here.
Along the quiet Devon coast, something stirs beneath the waves.
Yeah. So you can listen right there on the website. You can subscribe to the podcast on all these different platforms. You can buy us a coffee. Merchandise, we'll get to that in just a little bit. There's a contact us form. A lot of people use that, and that's great. That's wonderful. So that is the Lost Sci-Fi Podcast. Now, if you go to episodes, I think this is pretty amazing and pretty cool. Automatically, the last episode, when you go to episodes, will be in the upper left-hand corner, Martian Homecoming. Click on that and watch this. You can listen to a sample right here on the website.
Jim Malden sat with his back to the metal wall of the shack. staring out gloomily into the driven rain.
And then you see that white progress bar. It shows you the length of the episode. Click on the plus symbol and you'll go to the actual episode page where you can read a little bit about it, about the author, a little bit, related stories about the podcast, show some 5-star reviews. And on every one of those pages, they're not all this way yet, but will be, you can sign up for the newsletter at the end of reading all of that. So that's there. Plus, here's what else you can do. You can click on Frank Belknap Long. Now, I don't know if we've got much in his biography, but we've got a little. And you can read. Some of these biographies are not that fleshed out, but they will be. You can look at all the episodes we have done with Frank Belknap Long stories, and you can click on a sample. Let's say you want to check out the sample of Lake of Fire.
Steve found the mirror in the Great Northwestern.
Or if you want to, I think this website, it's vastly superior to what we have, and I think it's pretty cool. You can listen to the sample here.
Steve found the mirror in the Great North.
So that's under episodes. Under authors, there's 2 options. You can just click on authors if you'd like. And then it just shows a bunch of them. And I haven't been able to figure out how to get the order the way I want it yet. But under featured, if you just come down to featured authors, you can choose any of these. And we'll probably add another 5 or so to featured authors. So if you care about Philip K. Dick, you click there. And there's the big bio, or not a big bio, but there's a bio podcast. And that shows we've done 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 30 Philip K. Dick stories so far. It shows you Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov. You can click directly on Isaac Asimov and go to his stories. You may or may not care about me. I put a big enough picture of myself. It was a placeholder, and I can't figure out how to make it smaller. If I can, I will. The story behind the voice, it's kind of my story, a little bit, briefly. The newsletter, link to Rise, and a link to our survey. And if you haven't already filled out our survey, I hope you will. We still need, they want, this was done by Acast, the hosting company that we use. And they want like a lot. I mean, they want a lot of surveys. So, all right, let me close that. And now and let's go back to live camera. Nope. Okay, that's not working. Well, that's not good. Well, now I can't figure out how to get back on me. There we go. So, video. Okay. John says video and sound is great. Thank you, John. Wish for going forward be to emphasize sci-fi and cut back on horror and macabre. I appreciate that comment, John. Here's the crazy part. We get a lot of requests for the horror and the macabre. And so that's why we do a bunch of those stories. We get specific requests for stories that fit that category. I don't know that I answered your question satisfactorily to you, but that's the story behind it. We do listen to what people have to say, and so we do get a lot of requests for that. Okay. Have any of you spent any time on lostsci-fi.com? I'm just curious if you have, or if you haven't, if you liked just a little bit of what we just showed you there real quick. If you like what you see, eventually, and I think maybe it's this way already, but eventually every story we've ever done will be on the website and we'll have a sample available. In many cases, there's a link to the author so that you can, like a Hobbit. I agree, there's too much horror, although I do like H.P. Lovecraft. Now, see, that's contradictory to what you just said. But so we're trying to, we always try to balance what we're doing so that we can please all our listeners. And with nearly, and I appreciate your comments, with nearly 30,000 listeners around the world, every month, it's difficult. I get people to tell me we don't do enough horror. And then I did have somebody, and maybe it was one of you too, I don't remember who it was, but somebody said, why don't we start another channel that's just exclusively horror and macabre and that kind of stuff. And the reason that we don't is it takes everything I have. It has taken over the course of almost 4 years, everything I have to build the channel to where we are now. To start over from scratch with another channel would require, it would detract from the Lost Sci-Fi Podcast. So I don't know that addresses your questions to your satisfaction, but that's the reasoning behind it all. We get so many requests for those kinds of stories. And like a Hobbit, I agree. We get requests for H.P. Lovecraft every single week. Every week, without exception. It's just, he's very, very, very popular. Okay, coming soon. These are stories that we already have earmarked. And by the way, let me just come back on camera one. Whoops, that didn't work. Come back on camera 1 second. I'm not going to go into this in great detail, but the death of my father impacted me even more greatly than I thought it would. And my concerns for my mother, who is still in Iowa. And, so I talked to her a lot, and she's not doing well. Mom and Dad were together, married for more than 60 years. So she misses her best friend and everything. Anyway, I'm not going to go into all those details, but it's just been more devastating than I anticipated it would be, since I knew that his health was failing. Anyway, the point is we haven't produced, and with the holidays and some other personal stuff going on, we haven't produced as many episodes as we're going to, starting very soon. So in the next day or two, man, we're going to kick this thing back in gear and do more episodes. And we're even going to do, it's always difficult to find about, you just talk about the, because of the Cthulhu mythos, Lovecraft can qualify as sci-fi rather than purely horror. Okay. I forgot where I was going now. That happens sometimes. It's just that we're going to produce more stories, and we're trying always to balance. We get people that say, just give me stories that are an hour long or longer. And that would mean fewer stories because it takes so long to do them and edit them and release them. And then I get people to say, the 20 to 30 minute stories are the best. And so we're always, again, with this many listeners, and I'm not complaining that we have almost 30,000 listeners around the world in 190 some countries, but we're always trying to balance short stories, longer stories, this author, that author, all that stuff. So please keep that in mind as we go to our coming soon segment, which is, this is what's on the way. By the way, trivia is coming up in just a few minutes. Just wanted to share that with you. Philip Jose Farmer is an author that we've gotten a lot of requests for over time, and I have never done one of his stories. This is a really short one. I'm not going to give it away because it's so short, but let's just say that hopefully you will hear this one this weekend sometime. That's the plan. And then after that, Stephen Marlowe is a guy, we've never done a story and given credit to Stephen Marlowe, okay? We've never given credit to Stephen Marlowe, but he had a lot of pen names. So we have done Stephen Marlowe's stories, but not under Stephen Marlowe's name. And I don't know if we should go back and change the name on the image and maybe re-record the beginning of the podcast or something to reflect that they were Stephen Marlowe stories or not. Probably I won't, because it would take too much time and take away from more stories. But Stephen Marlowe, An Eye for the Ladies, is coming up. And then we got a couple of Mars stories for you. Been doing a lot of Mars lately. Get a lot of requests. And there's a huge number of stories about Mars. Death Walks on Mars by Alan J. Ram, and that would be the first story of his that we have ever done. And then another Mars story, We're Off to Mars by Joe Gibson. Joe Gibson is another person that we have not done any of his stories before. So if you go back, we've not done a Philip Jose Farmer. We have done Stephen Marlowe, but never given Stephen Marlowe credit. We've never done an Alan J. Ram, and we have never done a Joe Gibson. And if memory serves me correctly, Joe Gibson, and I check out lots of stories, so I don't always remember the details on any one unless I'm focused on recording that one. Joe Gibson, I believe, was also an illustrator. And there are a few of those that were illustrators and also writers, which I find quite fascinating. Okay, we are going to get to trivia in just a minute. Got one more thing before trivia, I think. Any other comments, questions, suggestions, anything? And it would be awesome. Let me just say this again. It would be awesome if we could get you to record a video with your questions, your comments, your reviews, your I had it just a second ago. Oh, just anything you want to say to us. If you'd send us a video, that would be really, really cool. And if you have any other questions or comments before we move on, that'd be awesome. Lost Sci-Fi merchandise. Still using I love these glasses. I love them. Okay. Give you just a few more seconds because I know there's a delay from the time I say it to the time you hear it is 20 to 25 seconds, I think, on YouTube and Facebook. And we have a number of you on Facebook and a number of you on YouTube. So we're grateful no matter where you listen. It doesn't matter to us. It really, truly does not. Okay. I don't see any other comments right now. We've got some new merchandise. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I get questions about it from time to time. These are the print all over shirts that you may or may not have seen me wear. I love these. I think they look really, really cool. And then our Lost Sci-Fi cat, who is a new character. And I'll show you. So there's a pullover or a hoodie. There's t-shirts. And then this is just the image so you can see it a little bit better on the live. Justice Ian from Pittsburgh. Hey, welcome, Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh. Spent quite a bit of time in Pittsburgh. Love that city. Love that city. Love the ballpark. Walking from downtown across the bridge, that whole thing. Anyway. What's your favorite type of story to narrate? Not your favorite type of story necessarily, but the most fun to narrate. End of the world. Bar none. End of the world. The whole apocalyptic Last Man in New York is a favorite. Not a lot of people know that one. What was that guy's name? John McNamara, I think, is one of my favorites. But I love, I don't know what that is. But I also find myself drawn to the TV shows that are apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic. It was a TV show, I don't remember which network it was on, called Jericho, which I probably watched every episode 5 or 6 different times. But it's fun to narrate it. Inheritance, a story that we did. Yeah, that was a great one. Coleslaw and fries and sandwiches. Yes, Justice Ian. What do you call pierogies? Pierogies. Oh, yeah. Food's good. I love Pittsburgh. You know, I don't get back to the States now. I am going to go see Mom, who is in Sioux City, Iowa. And I'll go see her, so I'll fly there and go see Mom and probably come right back. And so I don't, if I'm on a vacation, I want a vacation on a cruise. We went to Europe last year, and we're working on a cruise for July, or we, vacation here in Costa Rica. But I don't get, although I am, well, it's off the subject. I'll get to it later. Any other questions or comments you have? That's awesome. We'll be happy to entertain them. A Pail of Air. Oh, yes. One of the best post-apocalyptic stories we've done. Thank you, Josh. I love A Pail of Air. I love that the young boy has the crush on the woman and wants to know if she's going to wait for him, which I guess I gave it away if you haven't seen it. But anyway, I love A Pail of Air. Let the Ants Try by Frederick Pohl. I love that story. If you haven't checked that one out, or A Pail of Air, find it. I recommend highly. And I recommend those highly. That's my favorite. And I think, Inheritance is the other one I was thinking of. Inheritance. Oh, Rats. That was a great story too. Thank you, Justice Ian. I love that one. Miriam Allen DeFord. We are getting to the point now, having narrated 500 short stories in the 460, however many episodes we have done. We are getting to the point where I don't remember the details of all of them, or even maybe sometimes who did them. But Inheritance was who? I can't remember who wrote that one now. But that, I think, is a great story. Oh, and then there was Not a Creature Was Stirring. Again, an apocalyptic story. I love those stories. That's so to me, and I guess it's because they're kind of creepy. The reason that I enjoy them so much are kind of creepy. There's always the unknown, and they're usually very dramatic. So I can get really quiet and get close to the microphone and all of that. They're fun to narrate and a little spooky at the same time. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Go for it. And I appreciate you, Justice Ian, for your question. So we left off with, there's the cat thing. If you like the merchandise, great. And here's the truth. I'm just going to give you the truth on the merchandise. I do it for the fun of it. I buy it, and I wear it. And it's a great conversation starter for people to learn about the podcast. And all people say, what is that all about? And all of that stuff. So I like the merchandise. So if you never buy the merchandise, it's okay. You're not going to offend me in any way, shape, or form. There's the, not saying you're stupid, but I'm definitely talking to an earthling. And Josh's comment was, they're also so darkly beautiful. They are indeed. So there's our alien. And then the Lost Sci-Fi baby. I had people say to me, the Lost Sci-Fi baby deserves his own shirt. So there you go. The Lost Sci-Fi baby has his own shirt. And there's the design in a little bit larger form so that you can see it. If you're interested in the merchandise, lostsci-fi.com/merch, which automatically redirects you to the place where you can purchase the merchandise if indeed you are so inclined. All right, let's do some other questions or comments if you have them. I would love, again, and Ian, you may have joined us and missed the video segment, but what we really are looking for as we go live, and again, it took months to really build the live audience before, so I expect that's going to happen again in 2026 as we go live consistently now, twice a month, every month, next Thursday, 8 p.m. in London, which again, I believe is 1 o'clock Central Time. So that'd be 2 o'clock New York time. So 1 o'clock if you're in Chicago or Kansas City. Be noon in Denver and 11 a.m. out in California or Oregon, Washington. We have a lot of listeners there. So that time actually works for a lot of people around the world. I think it's like 8 or 9 in the morning for we have a huge audience in Australia and New Zealand. And so I think that time will work for them too, perhaps. All right, it is trivia time. I love doing the trivia. I really do. I enjoy the trivia. Remember, I accidentally muted myself when the video started. There is no prize. You score yourself 10 questions. Here we go. Question number 1. In the day the earth stood still, what's the alien's name? You have 4 chances to get it right. 4 multiple choice options. There's no t-shirt or no prize, just the fun of having done it. And there's your answer. So, I was way into the movie thing. In Forbidden Planet, the movie, what threatens the crew? I like this. And I like that movie. I need to go back I haven't watched that movie in decades, but I need to watch it again. So all the questions today happen to be from movies. Monster from the Id is the answer for question number 2. And we move on. And now some of these, come on, some of these are really easy, but some of them are not so easy. In Planet of the Apes, what does Taylor discover? Again, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know Planet of the Apes, my favorite sci-fi movie franchise. And he discovers that Earth was ruined, destroyed, however you want to say it. Anyway, I'm not going to give you the quote that Charlton Heston. So that's our first round of 3 questions. And now we go to round number 2. Justice Ian says, Keanu Reeves is the answer for everything. In The Thing from 1982, what can the alien do? You can type in your answer, by the way, if you want to. Don't have to, but you can if you want to. And the answer is not Keanu Reeves. Imitate life. The Thing. I love that movie, but I prefer the black and white original from the 50s. Okay, now some of these are fairly easy, all right? Who wrote The Martian Chronicles? Okay, some of them are really easy, maybe. But anyway, we try to mix it up so that you don't get all difficult ones, because that's not fun. Obviously, Ray Bradbury. And Imitate Life is correct answer. Hey, James, welcome. Good to see you, James. Man, good to see you. You've been with us a long time. And Bradbury was the correct answer. Which magazine was renamed Analog Science Fact and Fiction in 1960 under editor John W. Campbell? This is I thought it was an interesting one. Astounding Science Fiction. I just like astounding science fiction. I love that. I love that name. Round 3, our final few questions as we get ready to end the trivia for today. Who created the character Flash Gordon? I did not know the answer to this question. So if you do, congratulations to you. I did not know. I do enjoy the trivia. And the answer is Alex Raymond. I did not know that. All right, let us move on to question number 8. And this is I think this is a good one. Who knows this one? Matter of fact, I'm going to pause the video. Can I do that? I think I can. I'm going to pause the video. I want Freddie Mercury. That is not correct. I paused it because I want to see if any of you know, and so that gives you time to respond. In Star Trek, the motion picture, 1979, now I forgot how to pronounce Viger? I forgot how to pronounce it now. I looked it up. Anyway, so is the answer a warship, a living planet, a probe, or a time portal? Does anybody know this one? And James and Josh, I guess you probably meant that too with Voyager 1, but Probe and James, you got it. Both of you got it. Now I already gave away the answer, so we don't really need to go to the answer, but it's all part of the recorded video that I put together for the trivia question. So that's question number 8. I had forgotten. V'ger, thank you. Thank you. Like a Hobbit, you're right. In The Last Starfighter, 1984, how is Alex recruited? Yes, thank you. All of a sudden, Like a Hobbit, Josh Jennings, and James Van Manenberg, V'ger. I forgot how to say it. So how is Alex recruited? And the answer is he is recruited from a video game or an arcade game. A video game in an arcade. And question number 10. By the way, Metropolis, which is from 1927, there's your 4 answers to the question, what does the robot impersonate? That movie is available on YouTube, long since been in the public domain, and it's a silent movie. It's not a talkie, as they refer to it, but it is known as the first feature-length science fiction film. There were shorts before that. So if you want to total it all up and tell us how many you got out of 10, that would be awesome. So put that number in the comments if you wanted to do that. You don't have to do it. But again, we're just playing for fun. No, the answer was a woman, and I think she was referred to as Maria. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong on that one, but pretty sure. Yeah, a talkie. Well, that's just how I remember it, Justice Ian. That's how I remember when they said talkies. It is kind of funny. You know, there are people, obviously, that are probably maybe even people under 30 or 40 that have never heard the term a talkie. I don't know. That's just what I remember people calling it, a talkie. I wasn't around back then, but just anyway, I'm digging myself in deeper and deeper and deeper. I only missed 3. Well, good for you, Josh. That's good. Anybody else beat 7 out of the 10? And we try, and I remember doing it one time, and I made it too easy. Cool old movie. Some scenes are lost forever. Yeah. So, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I love doing these stories is to preserve them forever. One of the other cool things, I hope to be, and I've said this many times, but to be narrating when I'm 80. I would hope by then we have done 2,000 or more episodes of the podcast. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if it's cool for you, but it would be cool for me. But to then have recorded, probably by then, some 2,500 stories or more. These stories will last. There will be people listening to this podcast after I'm gone for years. And I think that'll be fun. Yeah, I know. I know it's a term, a word people haven't used in a long time. Like a Hobbit got 9 of the 10, missed the Flash Gordon question. Congratulations. That's pretty awesome. So that's one of the things. I love the fact that knowing that it will provide for my wife after I'm gone, should I precede her in death. That's, really important to me. But to know that 20 years after I'm gone, there will still be people listening to these stories in libraries, available through libraries, if there are such things. Maybe they're all online by then, or only online, to listening to the podcast. I just think that's cool. And it's one of the reasons why I do this. It's a legacy thing. Okay, in the final few minutes, because I wanted to try and keep this in the range of about an hour, so I've got to get back in the booth tonight. So we're going to do everything we can to produce more episodes faster for the rest of the month of January and throughout 2026. So that's our promise to you. We're going to do what we can. Sometimes health prohibits that, but We do the best we can. We will be live again next Thursday, 8 p.m. London, which again, I could be wrong about that. Look it up if you want to, what time that is in your time zone if you want to join us. I would love it if those of you who are watching would send us a video, horizontal preferably, with your comments or your questions, requests, reviews, anything you have to say, so that we can, I would love it. And this may take months. It may never happen, but I would love it if every episode we had 5 or 6 or 7 videos to play from you so that it was more interactive. I would love that. I said it earlier in the program, James Van Menenberg, the podcast is an emerging archive of some of Earth's most ambitious and thought-provoking stories. The history of where we were and where we're going. It's midday in Australia right now. Well, that's cool. That's not too bad. So what would 8 p.m. in London is like 7 hours later. That would be maybe 8 or 9 or 10 or something in Australia. Way back in the early YouTube days. You have no idea how hard it is for me to even utter that word based on everything that happened to us. And it's why we will not have full episodes on this channel, but we will have shorts and we will go live. Who knows how long? We didn't do anything wrong before. So who knows? We should all share this out on socials too. That would be great. I would appreciate that. It's weird, Justice Ian says, but I think what you're doing is important. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Before we were doing the tropical shirts, yes. I'm not in the tropical shirt mood right now. I don't know why. I bought these, I don't know who does this shirt, but anyway, I bought a bunch of them and I like them, and so they're comfortable and I wear them, and anyway, that doesn't matter. Just the last few minutes, any more comments? But yeah, we appreciate those of you that share our stuff and tell other people, man. That's the only way we've gotten to be as popular as we have gotten to be, is all of you sharing this all over the world with all kinds of other people. It's just so amazing. When you start a podcast, you don't know that anybody will listen or care, let alone, I mentioned this earlier. Where is that image? I don't know where I put it, but where is that? Is this it? Nope. Sign up for our newsletter. That would be cool if you would sign up for the newsletter. Number 1 in 33 countries. No, I just have to do this again because I like the singing.
Number 1 in 33 countries. You made it happen, every single fan. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Lost Sci-Fi fans. This one's yours.
That just makes me laugh. I love the sci-fi baby. Justice Ian. Oh, I so agree with you. I think sci-fi is on the decline because we know too much about science now. It was more fun to believe there's crazy biomes and civilizations on Mars and Venus. We know too much now. What is one of the reasons why I think this era of science fiction that we narrate, is these people were all speculating. They didn't know. They did not know, it's just what you said, Ian. They didn't know all the things we know today. And they were talking about things that were unbelievable back then, but possible. I mean, you didn't know. So anyway, it is, I agree with you. It is one of the reasons why these stories, to me, are so incredible. Final thoughts, anybody? And again, thank you. I can't find what I was trying to find. No. I don't know what, anyway, the 2 million listens video. Yeah, this one. This is remarkable to me. We went over this threshold of 2 million a few days ago. 2 million listens only on Apple Podcasts worldwide. That's just amazing. So I am thankful. I am thankful for all of you. Final comments. Anybody, if you got a comment, drop it in real quick. Share this with anybody. Thank you for being here live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next week, 8 p.m. live in London. And then we'll probably take off for a couple of weeks. That'll probably do it for January. And then we'll probably start the first week in February again. And depending on how Valentine's Day falls, because I have to take my wife out on Valentine's Day. That's just a thing for me and for her. So we'll see about February, but maybe it's the first and third Thursdays. But Thursday is our time. And I just really appreciate you. I appreciate for every listen, every play, every share, every 5-star review, everything you do for us. Thank you. Final comments, anybody? And we are going to put an end to this live broadcast. And I realize that when I say final comments, anybody, you may be commenting as I end it because of the delay, but forgive me if indeed that happens. Thank you all very much. We'll see you next week, 8 p.m. in London, Thursday, January 15th. Have a good one.